Hey, what's up, guys? Tim Uchuk here. Thought I would just jump on. I've got a pocket of time between meetings, and I wanted to go through some quick training with you guys on, for me, what I think is the most powerful chart in the universe. So not just the world. This I think is the most powerful chart. At least it is for me because going back to 2012 when I first discovered it, it saved my life in my manufacturing business. Where prior to this chart, it was really hard for me to see progress and visualize it, aside from just digesting and going through numbers and reports. And for me, this really distilled what was otherwise really complex into a very powerful one-stop shop for data, for information. So before I get into it, if you're watching this live, if you can go ahead and just put hashtag live in the comments. If you're on the replay, throw down hashtag replay in the comments so that I can know you're here. But it also allows me to share this story with more people. So hashtag live if you're watching here live, replay if you're on the replay, in the comments below would be much appreciated. Okay, so getting back to this story, which is called the burn down chart. And the metaphor for the burn down chart is it comes from the Air Force. So picture a fighter jet landing on an aircraft carrier. In order to hit your target, you have to have a steady, constant rate of descent. So this is your ideal descent, and picture, going from your altitude down to hitting your target, hitting your mark here. So that's the ideal, and then the actual would be the red. And if you think about this in terms of anything you're wanting to measure, I had one of these across each of these cells within manufacturing to see where we were at ideal versus actual. And you can see that if you're comparing, if blue is to go from where you want to be down to zero, red is your actual, you can see if it's a black diamond, things are great. And if it's a cross-country trail, meaning it's flat, that means you're not making progress, which means there's a problem, that's where you want to spend your time and your energy and your focus, right here. So very powerful. And the example that we're looking at here is, you can see, boom, you can see there's a problem if we're not moving forward. And here we've got a cash example. Let's say that $500,000 was your target over a quarter. So we're looking at a quarter over the horizontal, and then we've got a monetary target. But you could make this anything you want. It can be a number, it can be a dollar figure, whatever you're wanting to track. But you can see in one place whether you're on track or not. And in the absence of this, it's hard to really visualize it and understand data. And so again, for me, this changed my life. How did I learn about this thing? This is me in 2012 building a car using this method, and I was learning agile leadership, and I wanted to figure out how to build self-managed teams, like hyper-productive self-managed teams. That's why I went here, and I was learning a new process to get that done. And the interesting thing about this, not only just do you want to, like, this chart in and of itself is powerful, and you can see, within 5 weeks of learning this, I set up 12 self-managed teams. This is it was a pretty big deal for me. And you can see that it wasn't high tech. We created these things in our cells within manufacturing, but you can use this. You can use this in real estate, in insurance. It doesn't matter your industry, because really you're saying, here's our target. Here's time, are we on track, yes or no? And so the self-managed teams was that not only do we have a way of visualizing it so I could walk by and see our progress, but the very fact that it was transparent, meaning that it was not hidden in a computer, people could actually see progress, that changed behavior. And what we were tapping into there was something called the observer effect, which is, you've probably heard, inspect what you expect, or what gets measured improves. What gets measured and reported improves exponentially. So by the mere fact of just observing this stuff, just reporting it, measuring it, and observing it, changed the behaviors. And that's how I was able to build out really quickly self-managed teams by using this chart, this method, which again, for me, it's the most powerful chart in the universe. It's called the burn down chart. This is how it works. It's really simple, but you can see just how powerful it was in our organization. So I thought I would share this story with you. If you are struggling in your business to change behaviors, and even if you did nothing with this data other than to set up measure and reporting for your team members. And again, this is one example, but I mean, you can obviously do this using Google Sheets. If you look at this on, let's say this is your quarter, and you look at this every single week with your team, you're going to see insane changes to the habits across your team in a positive way, because when you see this, it creates a feedback loop, right? That's not a good thing. And then when you see this, it boosts morale. You get bragging rights here. So I just wanted to jump on and share this chart with you. It changed my life, and it's what we look at in our Perfect Week coaching program. We use simple tools like this as well. My whole mantra is, when you're scaling out your business, if a 6-year-old can't figure it out, it's too complicated. So you can see we're really keeping it simple. And that's another secret and trick to getting these self-managed teams set up, was we kept it like a kindergarten classroom. We kept it super simple. And we kept it fun, by the way. You can see this team was called the Fish Fryers. So anyways, thought I would jump on here and just do some quick training and give you a story for my first taste of creating self-managed teams. And for me, this alone probably freed up 90% of my time in my work week and allowed me to reallocate my time in the business to the more strategic areas, rather than just kind of running around with the clipboard. So anyways, my goal for this training was to inspire you, maybe get the wheels turning, and hopefully it was useful. This thing is called the burn down chart. Really easy to set up, by the way, but if you found it useful, let me know in the comments. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. And if you'd like this template, let me know in the comments. All right, guys, hope this was useful, and I'll talk to you soon.